This is the jig that I made for radiusing fretboards, and the base of it is made out of some good quality plywood, and it's got a rib that goes down the middle, as you can see, and then two little blocks on the ends which acts as stops. This is about 24 inches long, which is long enough for me. You have to make sure that you make it long enough that the box, which is here, that holds the other part of the router, has enough room to go past the ends of the fretboard. This is a 16-inch radius for cutting a 16-inch radius fretboard, and as you can see, because the curve that's going to be on that is actually 17 inches, but where the bit comes down is 16 inches. And this little box that goes on top holds the router, and it goes across side to side like this, and then the whole thing slides down. This is a 3/8 inch router bit that I have in the router, straight 3/8 inch carbide tipped bit, and the little dips that are in that area give space rather for the handles. You can see that there's a ridge on the base that extends beyond the curved portions, and that keeps this portion of the jig from coming out of the little sled that it sits in. And you can see how it slides back and forth like that. This is a fretboard that I've already cut the fret slots in, and it's longer than it needs to be. And it's important to mark the center of this, because you have to make sure it's centered on that strip that goes down the middle of the base, so that your radius is going to be even, symmetrical to the center of the fretboard. Just use tape to attach it down to the base there, and just fold it across like that. You can do it another way, which you can put a piece of tape down on the base and then another one on the fretboard and use some super glue to hold it down, but I find this is, for me, easier way. And just make sure, you can see I've drawn a line down the center of that so that I can center it perfectly. I'm going to make the first cut just right on the end of it and go across to make sure I've got the router set at the right depth. So this part's going to be cut off anyway, so it's a good way just to sort of test it to make sure. And if it looks good, then we can just go ahead and do the whole thing. Go over it twice just to make sure there are not any high spots. This fretboard happens to be Crelicum ebony, and these are radius sanding blocks. That one's a 120 grit and this one's a 220 grit. once it's sanded, take it off here and we'll see what it looks like. And you can see we got a really nice 16-inch radius on this fretboard.